Today's topic, how to tell if your husband is cheating. Today is a very heavy topic, but it's a very important topic, especially if you're in a situation right now where you're not sure if your husband or your boyfriend or the guy you started dating is cheating on you. And no matter at which stage of the relationship you are at, you don't want your man to cheat, even though this episode is specifically for women who are married and who are in marriages where they have the feeling that their husband is cheating on them. Of course, if you're not married yet, or if you're maybe engaged, then these tips that I share with you here, or let's say these signs I share with you here, are also very important for you. And when it comes to your husband cheating on you or not, you always have to remember that what I'm going to share with you right now are just signs. It doesn't mean that it's 100% true. You always have to investigate. You should always have a conversation with him. And if you want to work with me in a Skype coaching session and you want to find out more about whether or not your husband is cheating on you, and you want to share the details with me so that I can give you specific advice that's tailored on your situation, then you can click on the second link in the description and inquire for a Skype coaching session with me. I've already helped quite a few women to uncover and discover that their husband was not that faithful. So yes, you can also work with me on that. And one of the first signs that you have to be very aware of is how he acts with his phone. If he protects his phone with his life, if whenever you get closer to him, he automatically grabs his phone and he puts it in his pocket. Or, for example, when he's texting someone and the moment you enter the room, he stops texting, puts the phone away. These are clear signs that something is wrong. And I really mean that. If a man doesn't have to hide anything and he would just text his best buddy, you could sit next to him and stare at the screen. He would not mind. But if he has something to hide, then he minds. And another sign that something smells fishy is when he blames you for cheating on him and you didn't give him any reason. I mean, the fact that you are interested in an episode about how to tell if your husband is cheating on you already shows me that you are a loyal and faithful woman who wants to make sure that your husband is also loyal and faithful. But what if he then blames you for cheating on him and you just think to yourself, maybe he's just jealous a little bit. I don't know. Oh, he's so loyal. He's afraid that I will do something. Be careful with that. He might do that because he has already cheated on you. And attack is the best defense. Not always. That's why it's important that you either work with me on uncovering and discovering and exposing all the facts, or you do it on your own. Because sometimes a man might be really jealous and he then overthinks, he creates all these images in his mind and he then thinks that you are cheating on him. And that's something that's often rooted on deep insecurities. But then there are other times where he uses this as a way to attack you before you can attack him. And what if he works longer, but the money stays the same? Let's say he always works overtime. And when you then ask him, hey, why don't you get paid for your overtime? He comes up with weird excuses like, at the moment the company needs me. And I just want to stay 1 or 2 hours later in the evening. Don't worry about it. It's all okay. It won't be forever. If he works overtime and his salary also increases and you have more money available, or if you have a shared bank account, for example, you know that there's more money available, then you don't have to worry. Then he's really working hard to provide for his family or to provide for himself and for you. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. But what if he works overtime and he works a lot of overtime, but the money stays the same? Then you can start being a little bit suspicious. And with all these signs I share with you here, I want you to keep in mind, you do not have to stay in a relationship, and especially in a marriage, with a man who's cheating on you. You deserve a man who's absolutely 100% devoted to you. Not a little bit devoted to you, but fully and completely devoted to you. And if you want to have the power to attract such a man, once you got rid of your cheating husband, either by working with me or by going through this process alone, then you can click on the first link in the description and find out more about how you can make any man devoted to you. Yes, a loyal and supportive man who won't cheat on you. And what if you see bookings of hotels that you've never been at? This can be extremely painful, and without revealing any private details, something like that happened to one of my Skype coaching clients. where suddenly there was an email confirmation, or maybe you see something on a credit card statement and you think to yourself, huh? That's weird. I've never been in this hotel, and he has never been in this hotel. Or has he? That's something I would talk about with him very, very fast. And what if you find condoms even though you are on birth control? This is one of the most painful signs and also one of the most obvious signs that he has either already cheated on you or he's thinking about cheating on you. If you, for example, take the pill or you have an IUD and you are sleeping with your husband without a condom, and then suddenly you find a condom in his bag or in the pocket of his jacket, that's something that you have to address. You have to confront him. Maybe he's just thinking about cheating on you. Or maybe he just has these thoughts in his mind and he thinks to himself, okay, at least I want to be protected. But maybe he has already cheated on you. That's something that I would discuss ASAP immediately. And what if he goes to the gym but not for you? If he, for example, works on improving his looks, improving his physique, but then whenever you get closer to him, whenever you, for example, want to hug him and say, whoa, you really changed, oh, you look amazing, he then rejects you. He rejects your attempt to be affectionate. This is a clear sign that there might be another woman who he's working out for. But of course, if he's going to the gym because he wants to improve his physique, that's not a sign in itself. It's more the rejection part. If he, for example, works out and he then shows his body to you in a proud way, you hug him, you kiss him, he pulls you closer, and he doesn't reject you, then he's most likely not cheating on you. But if he works on his body and he's rejecting you, that's a sign you should be aware of. And what if he's constantly texting and hiding it from you? He's always texting all the time. And at the beginning of the relationship, or let's say at the beginning of your marriage, he didn't do it. He was never really the guy who was into texting. But now he's texting and he's always hiding his phone. And what if he creates drama that could be used to blame you for the inevitable breakup? I want to say that again because it's so important that you understand this sign. He creates drama that then could be used to blame you for the inevitable breakup. That's something that men who are cheating love to do. If he, for example, creates drama out of nowhere, and you then fall into the trap and you start an argument with him, and then the argument increases, and then you have a fight, and then at the end, either he never reveals that he cheated, or you find it out somehow, and he then breaks up with you before you can break up with him, and he then blames you because, oh God, we were fighting all the time, we had so much drama in our relationship, that's why I was cheating, that's the reason, and I just blame you for it. Be careful with men who create a lot of drama, because he might be doing this because he's already thinking about leaving you, but he wants to blame you for it. So be careful. And what if you ask his best friend if something is wrong because he acts really, really weird, and his best friend then says something like this. I don't know. I mean, yeah, he's also a little bit weird to me, but I honestly have no idea. You have to talk about that in your relationship. I don't want to get between you and him. You just talk to him. And he gets really nervous. He can't find the right words. And you feel that something is off. Then he might know more than you. And if this man tries to make you feel insecure about your physical appearance, this is also a technique that's often used by husbands who cheated on their wife, and he does that because he wants to justify that he cheated on you. And this is so painful. I've talked in Skype coaching sessions with women who've been through that, and this can destroy your self-esteem, and it can destroy your self-perception of how beautiful you think you are and how beautiful you feel. Because when he tells you either directly or by ignoring you, by rejecting you, by making stupid comments, that you are no longer an attractive woman in his eyes, this can destroy your confidence, but he might not even feel this way. In fact, there's a high chance that he doesn't feel this way. He just does that because in the end, he wants to blame you for the fact that he's cheating on you. So if that's happening to you, then please either work with me in a Skype coaching session, and you can do that by clicking on the second link in the description, or by going directly to gethimkeephim.com/Skype, or you work with a counselor or with another coach, because this is something that you have to get over. Because what he's telling you about yourself and about the way you look is not true. He does it because he wants to blame you. And he might also no longer want you to tag him in social media posts, especially in pictures. And he does that because the woman that he's sleeping with might be one of his Facebook friends or one of his Instagram friends or Instagram followers. And when you then would tag him in a post or in a picture on Facebook, this woman would find out what's going on, because there's a high chance that she doesn't know that he's actually married. And he cancels date nights with you for date nights with her. Let's say you have a date night on Friday, and then right before the date night, he calls you and says, "Oh, today, I have to work longer again. I'm so sorry. I'll make it up to you." Get suspicious. Get very, very suspicious. And what if there's no love anymore in your love making? Once upon a time, you used to make love. He looked you into the eyes. You could feel his heartbeat while you were making love. You could feel the connection. But now, it's just a physical act. There's no love anymore, there's no connection anymore, and he avoids eye contact because he feels guilty. And what if he can't stop talking about how bad cheaters are? This can be a sign, it doesn't have to be. I mean, if he's always talked about cheaters like that, for example, if he has been cheated on in a past relationship, then it might not be a sign that he's cheating on you. But if he has never talked about it like that, and suddenly he's always blaming everyone, he's making up stories of friends who were cheating, and oh, these terrible men, and oh my god, I can't believe it, how could they do it? Then you have to be suspicious, because it's a scientific fact, and that's been really proven in many scientific studies, that what we openly condemn the most is often what we feel inside or who we truly are. Just like in the most conservative states in the USA, that was actually a study that I once read, people watched way more dirty movies, and I think you know what I mean, than in more liberal states, even though on the outside they were condemning it and saying, oh, that's so bad, that's so bad. And just like a lot of homophobic politicians or leaders are also themselves homosexual, but they then use this way of overcompensation in order to direct the attention away from them. And they want to give the impression that they are the opposite. Oh, I'm not like that. And the same is true for some men who are cheating. Maybe he doesn't stop talking about how bad cheaters are because he's one of them and he wants to convince you over and over again that he would never do something like that. And if you want to really know if this man is cheating on you, then I can offer that we talk about it, we talk about your situation, you share all the signs with me, and I can then give you advice that's specifically tailored to your situation from all the experience I have coaching women who've been in similar situations like you. And if you want to work with me, you can go to gethimkeephim.com/Skype, or you can click on the second link in the description. And if you enjoyed watching this video, if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section below. Share your opinion, share your thoughts. I would love to hear from you. And I would love it even more if you would hit the subscribe button and smash that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I release a new video for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video.